That night, something unusual and completely unexpected occurred. The thick and sinister night turned each gust of air more petrifying. The student felt cold and certitude. While her body was sinking on the bedsheets, she meditated about the world of shadows and ideas, when suddenly she heard with stupor the weak sound of someone knocking the door. She was bothered. Someone outside the door at that time seemed to her as a coarse indelicacy. She tried to ignore the noise. Nevertheless, someone knocked the door again, and this time the student felt disturbed. The student slowly opened the door and a feeling of tachycardia crossed her body. While she focused her vision, her consciousness dissipated. She had opened the door to herself, gray and tired. It was her at the other side of the door. The next morning, wild spasms persecuted her. I was unsure of what terrified me the most: the abysmal emptiness under my feet, or the petrifying eyes that seemed like a mirror multiplying my glance. The irregular slope seemed endless, and I did not know if at the summit was the relative dimension I had been looking for, where I could find myself once again. The ice seemed to betray me by melting very meagerly. Suddenly I realized I was no longer advancing towards the summit. The hill seemed to get farther and farther away. Suddenly everything darkened, and I awoke in an esoteric suburb. With stoicism, I incorporated myself in the pandemonium only John Milton could describe. Skeptic? I smiled before the impossible dream that lay before my eyes. The Mephistophelian labyrinth extended, whereas my senses could understand. Black clouds, impure scents, and inclement temperatures secluded me. I walked in between the corpses, impassable of the world around me. A ghost-like orb emerged from the penumbra of this world, and when it reached me, a vehement tremor crossed my body. The incessant labyrinth was an absolute reality. Tremulous and nauseous, I ran lunatically in between the bloody fainted that impregnated me with their annihilated breath. You wake up battered and confused at Park Limbo. Alleviated, you imagine that the effects of the substances consumed the previous night have left you in the place you lay. The ashes from the fabrics have aggravated your lungs. You walk the long distance back to your house, and the few hours turn into crude years. You arrive at the sidewalk in front of your house and realize that your pockets have been completely emptied. Then, hopeful that you have left the door unlocked, you turn the handle. It is closed. You hit the door in vain, just to break the lonely silence that surrounds you. Desperate, you strike the door to vent your wrath. You're oppressed by the solitude and you remain still with your sight lost, trying to understand the reasons for your misfortune. Unexpectedly, someone opens your door from the inside. The light of your room blinds you for several seconds. When you regain your sight, you become perplexed as you gaze your